Hello everyone, this is Doug Nelson and Janet Ellis Nelson from Champaign Rotary, giving you an overview of the Open World team that visited us from Lithuania in February of 2025. This is the program that I first had exposure to. My first exposure to Rotary was through something called Group Study Exchange, sending young professionals to another country. The Open World program was something that I heard about 2 years ago and thought it was intriguing because it was a little bit like the Group Study Exchange, where it's an exchange program of people, but this one very much vocationally focused. So we applied. We actually heard that the competition was pretty fierce, but we won. And as a result, we received this team from Lithuania. And I must say, when they arrived at Willard Airport and I saw them come through the door, when I saw those big smiles, I knew that this was going to be an amazing experience.
Debbie and Bill Malone hosted Agna. Gitiana was hosted by Marla Scarborough and Chet Always. Christina was hosted by us, Janet and Doug Nelson. Archer was hosted by Tim Menard. Lena was hosted by Jay and Winnie Stortson. And Bill Montes was hosted by Sam and Maureen Banks, who were unable to be at the airport when the team arrived. And here's the whole team with the black eye at Willard Airport. On Saturday, February 8th, Scott and Donna Anderson hosted a wonderful welcome party in their home for the team and their hosts. They invited their good friend Jim Martinkus, who speaks Lithuanian, and really made the team members feel welcome.
One of the really fun things on that Sunday, one of our members, Kent Brown, arranged for the team to meet Kasparas Stakakonias, or KJ, the star player for the Illini men's basketball team, who happens to be from Lithuania. We bought t-shirts for the team, and KJ autographed the t-shirts for them. I think it's a memory they will always cherish.
Chandra Somerville's son, Adrian Rochelle, who works at the Cranert Center for the Performing Arts, gave us a backstage tour of Cranert before we attended a performance. Following the performance, we attended a Super Bowl party at Sam and Maureen Banks' house. Although their trip was mostly educational and related to accessibility and inclusion, we wanted the team to experience a view of American cultural events.
And this is the van that we rented to transport team members and their translator to each of our appointments. And I got to be the driver, which was a really fun thing, every morning getting the van ready and carting them around to multiple experiences. So on the next day, on Monday, February 10th, it was a really busy day for the team as they got to meet our state senator, Paul Faraci. And then, right after that, they got to meet the mayor of Champaign, Mayor Deb Frank Finan. Then they presented a program for Champaign Rotary about Lithuania and the careers that they have in Lithuania. 2 of them were teachers, 2 of them were principals, and 2 were advocates for people with special needs. Following their presentation, we presented awards to them, myself as the president of Champaign Rotary and District Governor Mike Martin, certificates from the Open World program.
After Rotary, we attended an orientation to special education in Unit 4 schools, hosted by their Director of Special Education and Assistant Directors. They put together a slideshow of all the services they offer and the types of disabilities for which they provide services, all in Lithuanian. Towards the end of their presentation, Dr. Sheila Boozer, Superintendent of Unit 4 schools, came over to meet the team and talk to each member individually. They even gave everyone a bottle of water and a delicious Unit 4 cookie. We spent the entire day on Tuesday in Tolono at Unit 7 schools. Their Director of Special Education worked with special education teachers to provide a variety of observations for small groups of the team members to observe. both at Unity West Elementary School and at Unity Junior High School. The team was very impressed with the excellent instruction offered at Unity West and their continual monitoring of special education students to be sure they were on target to reach their goals. At Unity Junior High, the team marveled that they could not identify which students had special needs in their co-taught classes. We had an opportunity to meet with the Director of Special Education for the district and the junior high guidance counselor at the end of the day, and were surprised to learn that the needs of special education students are put into the master schedule before all the other classes are put in place for the year.
And then, of course, since they got to meet KJ, we had to take them to a U of I men's basketball team. And I don't think anybody sitting in that whole section did not know that that group of people was from Lithuania, because every time KJ touched the ball, the Lithuanian flag went up and these people were cheering like crazy. And it was really fun because their picture was in the paper and a story about that. So people around knew, oh, that must be the team from Lithuania.
We spent several hours at the University of Illinois' Disability Resources and Educational Services Center, listening to experts from different disciplines who provide accommodations for disabled students at the University of Illinois. They provide services for students who are physically disabled, for deaf and hard of hearing, blind and visually impaired, as well as for students with learning disabilities and other documented impairments. We toured 6 Unit 4 schools in 2 days, observing a variety of lessons with students with different kinds of disabilities. At Franklin, we saw a one-on-one lesson with a teacher and a student that had a visual impairment. At Carrie Busey, we observed hearing impaired students being taught in a general education 4th grade classroom. Central High School is teaching a class for general education students about disabilities, hoping that those students taking the class might go into special education. We met with the teacher, students, and the principal to talk about this class. The next day, we observed autistic students working with a teacher, a speech and language therapist, and an occupational therapist at Barksdall Elementary School. We observed students in the Life Skills program at Centennial High School. These students are developmentally disabled and being taught life skills they can use in life or in a job, such as doing laundry, cooking, and selling merchandise. Our visit to Edison Middle School was our most joyful experience of the week. The students in the classroom had severe communication disorders. Some could only communicate with a communication board on their computers. Their teacher was really amazing. She planned a lesson in which we could assist the students in making pigs in a blanket with an air fryer. She served the team coffee and donuts and encouraged all of us to interact with her students. Students with communication disorders are typically not very social. But because the teacher and her aides made interacting with others part of their everyday experience, these students were very social. We also met 2 8th grade general education students who come into their classroom for 1 period a day, every day, to assist. These 2 young ladies were wonderful with the students and said they plan to be special education teachers. The picture on the right shows Archer with one of the students. He really loved Archer and wanted his aide to take pictures of them. After the team returned to Lithuania, the teacher at Edison wrote and asked if they would be pen pals to her students, which they are doing.
We wanted as many Champaign Rotary members to get to know this amazing team, so we held a pizza social at a local restaurant called Jupiter's, and we had 30 club members in attendance who got to spend time, ask questions, and get to know these team members at a little deeper level than just having them come to a club meeting.
In addition to the public schools, we visited a location that served special needs people within our community, some directed by our own club members. Upper left is Circle Academy, which serves students that cannot handle public schools. This academy is part of Cunningham Children's School, and Tim Menard is their development director. The University of Illinois Speech and Language Pathology Clinic serves children and adults in our community, and Scott Dahman's wife, Jennifer, provided information about their services. The Crow is a training and display site for DSC, directed by Danielle Matthews, who serves people with developmental disabilities. The Autism Project, in the upper right corner, was started by Linda Tortorelli when her son was young and provides a variety of materials and supports for teachers and parents with autistic children. Linda graciously gave our team members a variety of visual aids to help them get started back in Lithuania.
And on their last evening, Bill and Debbie Malone hosted a special farewell party for us, which also happened to be Valentine's Day. It was so important to the team members that they make this soup, which is a favorite in Lithuania. It's called pink soup, and it's made with beetroot, kefir, cucumbers, dill, and hard-boiled egg. I know that sounds like a strange combination, but oh my goodness, it was delicious. And after dinner, Villamanta spoke for the team about their impact in the visit to Champaign, how it affected them personally and also professionally. It was really so special to hear how impactful their visit was to each of the team members, personally, professionally, and how they're going to take that information back to Lithuania. For all of us there, I know for me personally, I couldn't hardly even say goodbye. It was such a deep connection that happened over such a short period of time, something that I will always cherish. And really, in my whole Rotary career, my whole Rotary experience, I think it's one of the highlights. And finally, the team gathered together to fly back on that Saturday. They gathered at Willard Airport, and they came as strangers, and they left as members of our Rotary family.